So, got a little bit of a fragrance discussion. You want to know what it's about? Well, you already know what it's about from the title. So, meet me on the other side of this intro and we're going to talk about it. What's going on, everybody? You know who it is. It is your boy, LL Cool Trey Belafonte in the building. That's right. It's your boy, Trey Belafonte. So what I want to talk to you about this evening, tonight, today, Saturday, whatever you want to call it, is my top 6. I just stopped at 6 because I could do this all day. Favorite R&B groups of all time, and the fragrances that I think represent them. Now, I love music, and it was hard to leave off groups like Silk with Freaking You. Beautiful song. It's hard to leave that off. It's also hard to leave out groups like the Temptations, the Commodores. The Temps and the Coms was a little bit before my time, even though I'm very proud of both of those groups because tremendous Alabama ties in both the Commodores and the Temptations. So, man, hats off to both of those groups. Also, Mint Condition, hard to leave them out of it too. But to me, Mint Condition was more of a band. Love Mint Condition with Pretty Brown Eyes. Stokely is still a bad boy to this day. So, but you have to narrow it down. And I chose 6 because I had to get these 6 in because these probably were the most influential to me. No further ado, let's get right to it. My top 6 R&B groups and the fragrances in my collection that I think represent them the best. At the number 6 spot, Blackstreet. And what fragrance do I think represents Blackstreet? Prada Black. Now, Blackstreet comes into my life around the time I'm ending high school. My high school, years of wrapping up, my junior, senior year. They hit with songs like, Before I Let You Go, Can I Get a Kiss Goodnight? Stuff like that, man. And Tonight's the Night, that was my jam. I had decided, yeah, the moment that we met. Y'all don't want me to break. Y'all ain't ready for that. But nonetheless, smooth, powdery, clean, romantic type of scent. A lot like Blackstreet. Dave Hollister harmonized beautifully. The group was just a bad group, man. Absolutely love Blackstreet. And what fragrance in my collection do I think represents them the best? Prada Luna Rosa Black. This next group comes into my life right after high school. I was working a lot, but again, music is a part of everything I do. It's a part of my daily life. At some point in every single day, just like I spend time with fragrances, I spend time with music, honestly, at some point in every single day. Every 365 of them. At some point, you're going to find me with some headphones on, listening to music. So, the number 6 spot, one of my favorite groups of all time, and it was hard to put them this low on the list, Jagged Edge. Jagged Edge. And the fragrance that I think represents Jagged Edge the best from the house of YSL, it is Ysl Electric. And why this fragrance, you may ask? It's just like Jagged Edge. It's solid. It smells good. It's dependable. It's there. Jagged Edge has a list of hits, but you got to kind of stop and think because there's always that one. What is it? Walked Out of Heaven. That's the one that everybody talks about. Sometimes you feel like you just kind of walked out of heaven. You know what I mean? When that special one, when things ain't lining up quite right, sometimes it feel like you just walked out of heaven. Real talk. Sometimes it feel like that, Nonetheless, just like Jagged Edge, this group is overlooked. One of my favorite Jagged Edge songs is Put a Little Hump in It. Because it's a line in that song where he says, I'm in awe of you. all of you. You're my mission. You got my mind in a trance, and my body should have followed. Keep doing them things you do. I mean, people overlook J.E., you know, and then Gotta Be is one of my favorite songs. And then Let's Get Married. I think that was probably the more popular one. Let's Get Married. And then they got songs like Hopefully. I mean, just Jagged Edge has a catalog of hits. People overlook them too. You know what I'm saying? And we also overlook this fragrance from YSL. I'm gonna spray this on my arm a little bit. I still got my scent of the day on, which got me tons of compliments today at work. And it is, which one did I wear today? It's 3-in-1's version of Rosa Creation. Yeah, this ditty right here is what I wore to work today. Several compliments on that. But anyway, from YSL Electrique, and this fragrance reminds me most of Jagged Edge because it is a solid performing fragrance and it just gets overlooked. Now, the number 3 fragrance, the number 3 group on the list out of 6. A lot like this fragrance to me because the group was edgy, but you couldn't deny the talent. You couldn't deny that they were good. You couldn't take anything from them. They had great songwriters, a great production crew. The production was in-house. Songwriting was in-house. That group that I'm talking about is none other than the group of Jagged Edge. Not Jagged Edge, I just did Jagged Edge. Jodeci. Now, you may ask yourself, what fragrance in my collection reminds me of Jodeci? I'll tell you. Controversial, because Casey and JoJo were some characters. Boy, Davin, Devontae, all of them. 1 million. Because just like Jodeci, you can't deny that the fragrance smells good. We all either have it or have had it. But when Jodeci did songs like Freaking You, I mean, take my money, my house and my for one hit of you, you can have it all, baby, baby. Shit, you couldn't tell me nothing. You know, when Freaking You hit, you know, Come and Talk to Me, Stay, all those are beautiful songs, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you just want her to come and talk to you. And there's other times you just want her to stay. So, representing Jodeci at the number 3 spot is Paco Rabanne's 1 million. Now we're fixing to get into the nitty gritty. Gonna get down to that top 3. Man, oh man. And you know what? Some of you reviewers out there, if you see this video and you want to do it, consider the open tag. Do it. Do it. It's always, if I do anything and y'all like it, do it. Because I'm always curious to see other people's thoughts on some of the videos that I do and how you would do it. So if you see it, do it. I'm saying Broom voice, do it. Now, at the number 3 spot, again, Alabama ties with this group. A lot of people don't know it, but the group is the OJs. And the fragrance that I think represents them the best, Spice Bomb Extreme. Yeah, because Gerald was from Alabama. I think he was born in Bessemer. You know, so it's hard to get around music in Alabama. I mean, it's more than just football here. But the reason that I think this group reminds me of the OJs, let me tell you something. The OJs did a song called, they did a couple songs. One is I Love Music. That song, it doesn't get any of the talk that it deserves. Forever Mine is another one that's absolutely beautiful that doesn't get the talk that it deserves. But my favorite OJ song of all time, I grew up with my pops playing it. We'd be riding in the old Delta 88 or the old Buick Electra or whatever. We was riding in at the time. And yeah, OJ's bumping, and the song will come on. Tin, 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 tin. The name of the song was Last Night, Me and My Woman, We Cry Together. Cry. If you have ever had a woman, if you're a man out there, and you have ever had a woman, then you know sometimes you cry. You cry together, you know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing when you wrapped up in that thing with that woman. And y'all, the emotions take over and y'all just get to crying and kissing and hugging and all of that. So sometimes you cry. You know, like I just had a bruh man moment, like I'm bruh man from Martin up from the fifth floor. But sometimes, man, you just cry. Sometimes you have to cry together. It's like that, you know? And this fragrance represents the OJs. Why? Because it's smooth like the OJs, but it's also strong. It's masculine like the OJs, because to me they represent that. Because you had Gerald, who always came in and took the top off of it, but then right after the top was taken off of it, if you listen to the OJs, and you know, right after they took it high and got all dramatic, they came back with just smooth it out, forever mine. Cause you my kind. You know what I'm saying? Don't you ever think about leaving. And then Gerald come in and just go crazy. Stay. I mean, just beautiful. Spice Bomb Extreme. I got two more on this list. This next one, and any of these could have been flip-flop, because I spent a lot of time listening to all of them. And Stairway to Heaven by the OJs is a beautiful song too. This next group, I'm telling you, I could have flip-flopped any one of these groups. But this next one, to me, man, because the lead singer, okay, just let me get it out. At the number 2 spot, we have the Ysl Brothers. Why the Ysl Brothers? For multiple reasons. The Ysl Brothers have had a huge impact on music yesterday and today. Jimi Hendrix was a drummer for the Ysl Brothers. Let that sink in. Greatest guitarist ever. Or was he the greatest guitarist ever? I don't even know if he was the greatest guitarist in the Ysl Brothers, because Ernie Ysl could play that guitar too, man. Ernie was a bad boy with them strings. So you got Ernie Ysl, then you got Ron Ysl, he's the lead singer, Ernie Ysl playing the guitar, and then you got Jimi Hendrix on drums at one point. The fragrance that represents that group the best, to me, Givenchy's Gentleman. Why? It's versatile, it's sexy, and it's a fragrance that you just have to have in your collection. I don't think we can talk fragrances today and talk masculine fragrances, sexy fragrances, mass appealing fragrances, fragrances that smell good, and not bring up Givenchy Gentleman. This thing is just, and let me reiterate, this is Givenchy Gentleman EDP Boisee. There's a lot to say. Let me hold it up so y'all can see that. Got it? Good. And just like the Ysl Brothers, love it. I think Summer Breeze may be my favorite Ysl Brothers song. I'm not real sure. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Summer Breeze. But then you got to think though. You got Ron Ysl, who came back to life with this whole Mr. Big character. That joker like 80-something years old, still doing music. The Ysl Brothers, man. The Ysl Brothers. And they are best represented by Givenchy's Gentlemen Only Boisee, the EDP. At the number 1 spot. And again, this is, for me, you know, this is Trey Sense. This is Trey Belafonte and what he's thinking. Before I tell you who the number 1 act is, some of y'all may can guess it, but it goes back to when I was a kid, a little boy. This group was hot, and they remained hot, and they still tour. Yeah, they still tour. They're still pretty active. They even branched off a little bit from each other, did some solo albums, brought in some people, lost some people, but nonetheless, they could sing, they could dance, and they sparked a whole wave of groups after them. Number 1 spot, that group I'm talking about, is none other than Nuit Edition. And the fragrance that represents them, Versace's Eros Flame. Why this one? It's versatile. It's simple, because none of the members of Nuit Edition, until they added Johnny Gill, were just extreme vocalists. But it just worked well together, much like Eros Flame. Is this something new? No, it's just a step above Eros. Just a few tweaks here and there. But you talk about a fragrance that women love, men love, people love. This is it. Much like New Edition. Everybody right now can name at least one New Edition song that they like. For me, mine is Can You Stand the Rain. That's like my favorite New Edition song of all time, is Can You Stand the Rain. And then of course, you know, Ref Trash Band did his thing. You know, he came in there with Sensitivity, and Bobby Brown's Don't Be Cruel album was the greatest album of all time. To me, that's like the best R&B album ever, because you can put that sucker on and it rocks from beginning to end. Don't Be Cruel with songs like I Wanna Rock With You, you know, Tenderoni, My Prerogative, Don't Be Best R&B album of all time, Don't Be Cruel by Bobby Brown. But I go back, if we don't have New Edition, we probably don't have a Bobby Brown. So New Edition is at the #1 spot, and the fragrance that best represents it, Versace's Eros Flame. All right, guys, that is it. That is it. That is Trey Belafonte's top 6 R&B groups of all time and the fragrances that represent them. Now, again, I want to thank you all for always being the best part of this channel. As always, it means a lot. My sub count, we've hit that 1,700 mark, and we're steadily climbing on the way to 1,800. Oh, man. Again, you guys are definitely the best part of this channel. You have to let me know some of your favorite R&B groups. Is it Silk? You know, is Freak Me Baby one of your favorite songs? Is it Mint Condition? You know, is it Blackstreet? Is it Intro? You know, who is your favorite? Or is it Soul For Real? Who is your favorite? You know, is it As Yet? Is it Total? You know, because Kissing You by Total is still one of my favorite tracks. It's one that, you know, I bang out a lot. Who is it? You know, is it SWV? You get Weak in the Knees. I mean, I don't know. Talk to me. Tell me what your favorite R&B group is and what fragrance you think best represents that group in your collection. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here, go crawl up in the recliner, get ready to edit this video, watch some more football. I'm not sure whether I'm gonna try to find a Mississippi State game. I think it's on. I don't even know who plays later tonight. Yeah, so again, thank you all for being the best part of this channel. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this entertaining and all of that stuff. So, I don't know when I'm gonna do my next video, but until then, I love you all. May God bless you all. Till then, peace.